It's Week 13 of the National Football League. And coming up, it's the 49ers' creative quarterback. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the 49ers and the Jags, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 24.
From the host of Super Bowl 50 back in February of 2016, there's a look at the home of the 49ers, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking... Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4-0. Just about time to rock as Toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway from Santa Clara. This taken in at the goal line. Brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And a glance here at the southpaw, who will be calling the plays under center.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now, he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 7 catches, 62 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The Niners had 8-3 now. And they've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. On the toss, coming left, Dixon. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. He'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On first down, they go with Dixon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up the first down.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
A 6-yard gain brings up 2nd and 4 at the 21-yard line.
Dixon trying up the middle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. Well, given where they started that opening drive, CD, I think to get 3 out of it, probably a pretty good start that they'll take.
I think you're exactly right about that because they just shook off the effects of the kickoff and field position and took the ball and moved it downfield. Didn't pay off with a touchdown, but that drive, that was really nice for them, and they did come away with 3 points.
So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And a glance here at the veteran who will be leading them now in his 8th year in the NFL.
I tell you what, when he's on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
A look at the numbers from last week for Miller. 20 carries, 79 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we have a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
To throw is Smith. And that is incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this returnable for Hill. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Wide open receiver complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. It's another 1st down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards. Now back to throw. That's complete. It's Collins. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Now 2nd and 6 at the 17-yard line.
They'll look to throw again. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback.
And across the track into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Moody good with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game.
And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Here's 2nd and 3. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. This defense for the Niners, they were terrific a week ago when they went over Seattle.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
And he will have a Jaguars first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A first down carry now for Miller.
That's about as exciting of a 1-yard run as you're going to see. Finding a way to dodge that first would-be tackler, but again, just 1 yard out of it.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Now Smith. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
They'll give him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game. It's certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He finds his man, complete. That's Collins. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2nd and a couple. Up the middle they go with Dixon. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things out.
I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
On 2nd down, it's Dixon. Oh, he shifts past him. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Now a handoff for Dixon. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. This a 2nd and 8 as they've got it as we resume action. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. From the 43, here's 2nd and 9. Here's Smith. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Smith. In trouble, and he's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Collins. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete here.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
Here's a catch downfield by Collins.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 42. A gain there of 21 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
On 2nd down, here's the option.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 23. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a first and goal.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on first and goal to add some extra mass.
On first and goal, Dixon. And across the blue line into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. A great effort there.
His 8th rushing touchdown on the year.
And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
Extra point try now for Moody.
He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
And now out come the Jags.
And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated. 3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll give it up the middle to Miller. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Smith. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Eight yards on the return following a punt of 41. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
Back to throw here. Throw left side, caught here by Ward. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd down and a yard.
He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down. Back to throw again. Completes it to Dixon. And they'll get him down inside the red zone at the 14. It's also a gain of 14. 1st down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Here's first and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Trying to pound it in with Dixon, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Niners are able to add on to their first half lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drive.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs. If you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Jaguars getting set to go.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Smith. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
Watch out for Hill on the return. Stays on his feet. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47.
Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room.
Dixon complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it midfield. That one goes for 30 yards.
This play is a thing of beauty when it works as designed because they let the running back slip out of the backfield and head down the sideline on a wheel route. Number one, it's easy for him to get lost. And number two, really tough for the linebacker to run with him. And this ball's right on the money and leads to a big play.
They'll throw now on the final play. And his throw here's incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where you see the final score there. 24-10 was your final. From there, we'll jet north to Ohio to check in on the Browns at home at Cleveland Browns Stadium. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. The Bengals locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And it's the visiting Jets who have the lead in that one. The Jets trying to hold on and claim victory.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Smith now to throw.
And that one's going to come up a little short. It's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
On 2nd down, here's Miller.
And he'll get about 2 there to the 36. Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And, I mean, you're at the point here, 3rd quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today.
Now Hill to return it. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half.
The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
They go play action here on 1st down.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now this throw caught left side. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. On the give, this is Dixon. And across the track, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the 49ers extend their lead yet again. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got a man complete. A big play that time for Jacksonville. 45 yards. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and 3.
They'll try the right side here with Miller. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Back to throw, Smith. And that is incomplete. 4th down now as San Fran's defense is strong in coverage.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
The Jags come up empty on 4th down, and the 49ers are going to get the football back.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
They'll start the drive with Dixon. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
From the 31, here's a 2nd and 5.
Back to throw. He'll get this to Ward. 2nd catch for him today. A little wind up the 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is. to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can draft anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
The handoff out of the pistol. It's Dixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7.
Right back to Dixon. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Now back to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he is going to have a Niners first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
A give running left. Dixon. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 24-yard line. 12 yards on 3rd down as the drive rolls on.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
55 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it. Here now, 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Collins. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
2nd and 1 from the 2.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 2-yard line. That's the end of the
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. They end up getting stumped twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
To Jake Moody now on for the field goal.
From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here.
And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Smith on first down. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
Draw play. This is Miller. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. They'll set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. He wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
Underneath for Miller. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
First down, Jacksonville.
Now Smith. Finding Miller once more, complete. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. From the 22, here's second and 8. Now Smith. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Here's Smith. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Again, Smith. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen. despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Here's Hill on the return. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Dixon again. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
92 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Here's Dixon.
He'll get this up to about the 44. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
2nd and 6.
They'll try the left side. Ross. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
Big yardage there on the scramble, and it gets him a first down.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end. Not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff right side. It's Dixon. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
So the victory here for San Francisco. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for San Francisco, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and this one features the Saints, Burner at wide receiver. And with him, any catch could be a big one. He's the NFL leader in touchdown receptions. It's the Saints and the Rams on Monday night.
The first open back. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
Well, the silver lining from last week, he played phenomenally. Kept the ball clean and led them to the end zone several times. You know these NFL quarterbacks, though, they trade away all those touchdowns if it meant getting the win. That's his focus this week.
A throw left side is complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A first carry now. This is Matthews. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The numbers for Matthews last week: 24 carries, 113 yards, and a score.
When you put the ball in the end zone 13 times on the season, one thing is apparent. You didn't do it all on your own. Offensive line is creating some nice space for you, and you're probably getting some good blocks downfield from your wide receivers.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's a gain of 6. First down, Rams.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. You look at the Saints defense. Right now they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Saints will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. They'll set up a throw. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him.
Now an option play on second down. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down. The Saints had 8-3 now. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They get the home crowd behind them. That they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. They're going to look to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. They give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people.
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. With his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment that allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. Coming right, this is Matthews. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1. They work now on 2nd and 9. They run middle with Matthew. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here, because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose, and is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Here's Lawrence to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Saints will have solid field position here as they take over at the 45-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive.
They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
You talk about this Rams defense.
They currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
Numbers don't tell you everything, but they do paint a pretty good picture. We're talking about 2 top 5 units going at each other. One in running the ball, one in stopping the run. I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun myself.
The Rams calling on their nickel set here defensively for 3rd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside.
And he is going to have a Saints first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
Looking to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Will go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw here. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete.
And he is going to have a Saints first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. Back to throw again. Going right side here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
As they've got it as we resume action. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
And they'll run again.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Saints go up by 2 touchdowns. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Now the try here for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. This taken in right around the goal line. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey on with not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence again. And he comes back with one complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
A first down carry for Matthews. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground with Matthews again. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. 3rd and 5. Now Lawrence. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, a pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down. Here comes the Rams punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give him 12 yards that time.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
To the 43, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The Saints on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. His throw incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction. And that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them. And now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
And the LA offense ready for this next possession.
And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
His first catch, good for 16 and a 1st.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Matthews up the middle.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now.
The throw over the middle taken in.
And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Now Lawrence.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's long.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Lawrence.
And he's got his man on the out route. And out of bounds right around the 20. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll be 4th down. So now the Rams send out the field goal team here. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this 1st half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the 2nd half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. They'll look to throw again. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's brought down. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will have a first down here as they get into field goal range, down just shy of the 20. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll look to throw now on first down. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Point after here coming up. And it's 21-3. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Rams going to take over late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. And he will find his man on the outside. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And he's got his man on the out route. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
He finds his man complete. It's long. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And his kick here is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis, where it was the Colts who were able to come away with the home victory. Brock Purdy, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they were winners in their ball game as they were able to handle the visiting New York Jets. Justin Fields, a touchdown pass in the victory. Lastly, we're off to the Rocky Mountains, Denver, Colorado. See what's happening with the Broncos. And things didn't work out so well as they fall to the visiting New England Patriots. 38-14, the final score. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break. But I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come.
This fielded right at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. But the Saints going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 43 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And the Saints are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Back to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're in. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season. And the Saints take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 3.
At the 30-yard line.
Lawrence will throw. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw, Lawrence.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, LA. A big play there. 62 yards. And the Rams are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Lawrence going to look to throw for it. And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the two-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on two-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a two-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Taken at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a 1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Rolling to his right. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
This guy's proven himself to be one of the best in the NFL. He brings an added dimension to their offense with his ability to read defenses and know when he's able to pull it down and take off and go.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. He'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one can...
Touchdown, Saints! A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints take a 3-touchdown lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
2nd down and 6 now.
2nd and 6.
Here's Lawrence to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And 3rd and 1 now. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, it's Lawrence. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
This is brought in at the 21. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
Ooh, the juke. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. 59 yards. And the Saints get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away.
This taken in at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Los Angeles.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Matthews. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Again, it's Matthews. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Now Lawrence. He's got room to roam. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now Lawrence to throw. Touchdown, Rams! From 10 yards out. And the Rams get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And he'll get a couple up to the 29. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. They'll keep it on the ground. Lincoln, and only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42. The Saints on 3rd down, as close to automatic as you can get. 9 out of 10. This is 3rd and 11. They'll try to left side. Lincoln. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They start the drive with Matthews. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that if they have to punt the ball, they've done so with that 1st run.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be brought down right there at the 29-yard line.
It's a gain of 23 yards. 1st down, Rams.
Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. And
he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Inside the 20. Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stares on that sideline. This is one of those games where you just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth-quarter lead.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away from pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit.
Touchdown! A great effort there. A beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game.
And the Saints are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football this one. And it's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. L.A. readies for its next possession. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
He finds his man complete. It's long. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down.
Here's Lawrence.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Lawrence. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They run it. It's Matthews. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Rams are able to cut into that deficit.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
The drive will start with an option going left. Now the ball comes loose. And now the Rams have got it going the other way. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that, going back and watching tape and being able to say we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turn.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a handoff up the middle. Lincoln. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 4 from the 24.
They'll keep it on the ground. Lincoln. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described. Manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage. They're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now a give right side. Lincoln. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
97 yards rushing now for the ball game on 24 carries.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for the Saints, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for L.A., the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.